summer has a lot of really awesome looking comedies coming out. The Hangover 2, The Change Up, Horrible Bosses, Friends with Benefits. They all look pretty funny. But I'll be really surprised if any movie I see this summer, or maybe even this year, is funnier than Bridesmaids. The movie is called Bridesmaids, but it really is not a chick flick at all. There's a romantic subplot, but there's a romantic subplot in pretty much every single movie ever. This movie is basically 27 Dresses meets The Hangover. It really is like The Hangover. It is a dirty, raunchy, R-rated comedy, and it's hilarious, and it all stars women. I wasn't really looking forward to this movie. I didn't really like the trailer at all, but it got really good reviews, and Chris Stuckman really liked it, and some other people I trust really liked it. So yeah, I saw it, I was excited, but I did not expect it to be this funny. I was seriously cracking up this entire movie. The entire movie. It is hysterical. I can't even explain it. Discard everything else I'm going to say in this review. See this movie, it's hilarious. No one doesn't like to laugh. This is a comedy and it is hysterical. But Kristen Wiig has basically been in every single comedy made in the last like 3 years, and finally she, you know, has a leading role, and she's just brilliant in this movie. This is her movie. Like, it wouldn't have been the same without her. She is just fantastic. In the serious stuff, she's hilarious in, like, every scene. This has fantastic comedic writing, but outside of that, it really works because it creates these hilarious situations out of real-life situations and, you know, realistic characters. A lot of the humor really is over the top and not really, you know, realistic at all. It makes it all the more funny because it is built around realistic situations and realistic characters. These women are not caricatures like a lot of women are in comedies. Kristen Wiig's character isn't just, you know, bummed out because she can't find the right guy. She has a lot of depth, and it really does add to the film. If I thought there was any weak points in the movie, it was just a few scenes where, like, for like a heartfelt scene or whatever, but like still they try to, you know, try to score laughs when they could, you know, just be a little more serious. But they do pull off some serious scenes. They do ultimately pull off sincerity and a likable quality. Like, this movie has a lot of, like, dirty stuff, but it's not, like, an ugly film. The characters are really likable. The performances are just great. Rudolph and everyone, they just do a really excellent job, and everyone's just hilarious. I love how this movie can have over-the-top humor exist in realistic situations and not make it feel too over-the-top and too stupid. There are a few scenes that are maybe a bit too far, but basically everything in this movie is just hilarious. Like, I can't stress that enough. Just see this movie because it is just hysterical. Women taking craps in sinks and a lot of other stuff that's just really ridiculous, but it just doesn't feel too stupid. Like, ultimately, this movie is just written in a way that's really rare for comedies. I think there are, like, very few times that I've laughed this hard in a theater before. Men are gonna love this movie just because it's hilarious. Women are gonna love this movie because it's hilarious, and they can relate to it because this is actually an honest comedy starring a bunch of women. I'm gonna do it. I was expecting maybe not to get some of the humor because I'm not a vagina owner, but it really wasn't like that at all. Like, this movie is not for women. It's like saying The Hangover is just for guys. Like, it doesn't work that way. This movie is not a chick flick at all. I know it's called Bridesmaids. I know it stars like 8 women and like no famous male actors. But it's not a chick flick. Like, just trust me, I'll give you $5. Ultimately, the film is non-stop hilarious. Kristen Wiig is just fantastic. It's just a greatly written comedy with awesome realism mixed in there, with great depth and great sincerity. It's just ultimately a great comedy that, as good as a comedy can be, pretty much. It's like my second favorite movie of the year behind Win Win, and I almost put it as #1, but I'm like, you know, I fought over it. But I think this is my #2 movie of the year so far, and I just looked at my list, and this has been a really good year so far. It really has. There have just been a lot of movies that I really liked. Adjustment Bureau, Win Win, Lincoln Lawyer, No Strings Attached. I'm still holding on to that one. Sidious, Source Code, a lot of really good movies. Summer movie season just looks awesome. I am pumped, but Bridesmaids is awesome. Everyone to go out and see it. It is hilarious. I didn't think it looked very good, so I felt an epic need to make this review because it is just hilarious. Like, I can't stress that enough. Go and see it. I'm going to give it a 9.5 out of 10, and I really do not give comedies that high of ratings, ever. But I'm going to. 9.5 out of 10 for Bridesmaids. I just gave a movie called Bridesmaids a 9.5 out of 10. Oh God.